Hi y'all. How y'all doing? I wanted to get on here today and tell a little bit of my story and where I'm coming from. Lately, okay, if you don't know me, I'm Tasha Speaks, the one and only Tasha Speaks. But lately, like the past few days, I've been posting pictures from my childhood on Facebook, on Instagram, and that is my name on Facebook and Instagram, Tasha Speaks. So, this is what I wanted to say. Tell your story and stick to it. And I shared a song today by John P. Key. Tell your story. No life and favor beyond you. And you don't know my story. So that's what the song is. You don't know my story. And so I came on here to tell people to tell your story. What inspired me to tell my story was the fact that I was watching a lady on TikTok. I can't think of her name, but she was telling her story about when she was molested as a kid. And someone in the comments said, you shouldn't share that. You need to keep some stuff to yourself. No, she needs to share that because that is freedom. Once you tell your story, the enemy can't hold you back. And I tell anybody who watches this video, tell your story and stick to it. Just like I'm going to tell mine today, some of my story. When I was a teenager, between the ages of 14 to maybe 18, I was broken. I was a hurting girl. I was seeking love. I was seeking and searching for something. I just wanted love. I really don't remember getting a lot of hugs and love from my mother. I don't remember getting reaffirmation from my mom, being reaffirmed. And maybe she didn't have that to do. She didn't have it in her because of her childhood from whatever she dealt with her and her mother. You know, she gives me this story about her and her mother about she was living with her aunt when she was young. I don't know how it went. I get different stories about it, but this is not to bash her in case she ever sees this video. But the point is, I never felt loved or reaffirmed. And so fast forward, I was a child, and then when I became a teenager, I started hanging with my friends, started having sex, going to clubs and drinking and stuff. This is something I did. This is my story, right? I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to tell my story, okay? And so I started hanging out, drinking and partying. Okay, once I started having sex, drinking, and doing whatever we did, of course, you're getting judged. For one, my mother was on drugs, so I was getting taunted for her being on drugs, and I felt some type of way about that. It make you feel some type of way. That's why I feel like you never look down on no one without picking them up. You never try to tear somebody down because we all have a story, right? So, it made me feel some type of way. Then when we started having sex, and my friend and I and other friends, other young girls were having sex, we got all the little cackling and the name calling and the disrespect because, of course, we were young girls just trying to find our way, seeking and searching for something, maybe seeking for a wholeness or a peace or just some type of love, which we didn't have really at home like we think we should have. So at the time, I wasn't really going to church. I would go to church here and there. I grew up going to church somewhat on and off. And when I was a teenager, it was like a long like pause with me going to church. So between the ages of like, I'm going to say maybe 13 to like 18, I really didn't go. I went here and there. So, of course, I was a young girl seeking, not understanding the things that were going on. I stayed in a neighborhood. It was very toxic, very demonic forces over there. So I always asked my mother, like when I was young, I'm like, why didn't nobody come for me? That's how I always feel. That's what my spiritual mother always say. She likes to go for people and help them and try to talk to them. Nobody came for me. Even the adults would look at me like, oh, she's a whore, oh, she's this, she's that. So I don't know if I could say that on YouTube, but they would look at me like, oh, she's this. They would talk about us. You would hear stuff people would say about us, about being promiscuous young girls. We were fast, we were this, we were that. We would sleep with guys, and, we would get the little cackling, bullying, or name calling. But we didn't know our worth at the time, and we had no one to show us the way. We had no guidance. My mother was there, but then she wasn't there. It's like she was there physically, but she wasn't there totally spiritually. So I had to deal with all of that, and it just brought a heap of things on me because once you get taunted and once you get bullied and picked on, all this other stuff come with it. Once you get the spirit of rejection and you go through hurt and pain and trials and tribulations, a lot of other stuff comes with that because these are your experiences, right? So I went through a lot of that as a child, and of course, that has something to do with the weight gain. That was a little bit entry into the weight gain, stuffing my feelings with food. You know, I stuffed my feelings and stuffed my emotions with food because of the stuff I went to. I didn't know how to cope. I didn't have an outlet. I didn't know anything about my poetic gift that I have now. I didn't know anything about, you know, doing creative things to navigate my trauma. If I really had someone to help me navigate the things I've been through, I could have handled it better. But I didn't have anyone to help me navigate through life. I had no adults, no uncles, no aunts, not even a grandmother to help me navigate through life. Don't you know you need somebody to help you navigate through life? I had no one to help me to navigate through life, but I got to be a better person. That's why I posted on Facebook. I said, I got to go for the ones that need to help the young girl, the young teenage girl who might feel like she's going to commit suicide, who might feel like her mother is not there for her, who mother might be on pills, might be on drugs, might be doing alcohol, might be chasing men. I got to go for them and encourage them because no one came for me. So that's why I'm on here today to tell y'all a little bit of my story. So yes, I was broken. I was hurt. I was in a neighborhood where it was toxic. It was chaotic. Everyone was sleeping with everyone. Most people were on drugs, and the one who wasn't on drugs, they were religious and they talked about you because that's what they did. They didn't go and lend you a hand and say, baby, come on, let me bring you to church. See, where are the mentors? Where are the coaches? Where are the older women that teach the younger women? We didn't have that in the neighborhood I was in because the people didn't care. But guess what? God didn't send someone like me who gonna help the younger generation, gonna help the younger girl, the younger Tasha, gonna help the girl who's broken, who's trying to seek love from a man, who's trying to cope through drinking, or some might be trying to cope through pills because their mother not there. A lot of people don't realize we try to say, oh, let me them kids fast, they grown, they a thug, they ain't gonna be nothing in jail, she gonna be pregnant. But instead of us going to be a minute, they said it take a village to raise kids. Did you know it take a village to raise kids? If you see a young girl, a young boy who's a teenager, or a youngster going on a wrong path, that's where you as an adult supposed to step in, led by the Holy Spirit, and try to tell the child something good. Try to encourage the child. Oh, but no, y'all want to talk about them. We got to do better. Older generation, us from the 70s and the 80s. Yeah, we have to teach the younger kids. We got to lead them the right way. We can't lead them astray. We can't try to put a word curse. That's what they did. They try to put a word curse on your girl. They try to put a word curse on me. They tried to say, oh no, she ain't gonna be nothing. She ain't gonna make it. But God, don't you know when God step in and do something good in your life? Oh baby, he can turn it around. It can turn around just like that in a flick of a moment. It can be a shift. They didn't know about a man named God. They didn't know that the God Almighty would come down and save me. He will come and help me to come and be a voice to impact. Oh yes, I am a lady who loves comedy. I love comedy. I love to make people laugh, but I don't play when it comes to me with God. So I'm telling y'all, I love the Lord. I love him here today. Yes, I come to tell my story about me being a teenage girl. I didn't get pregnant. That ain't my story. I didn't get raped. That ain't my story. But I was a girl who was lost trying to find my way, having sex, drinking, smoking marijuana. I never did do they didn't have pills back then, but I was a girl that was lost and just trying to hang with my friends, have sex with guys. And you know, people tried to talk about us. They tried to put us down, but God, we're here today. I thank him because his mercy and grace is there. His grace is sufficient. Oh, I love the Lord. So I'm on here today to tell you, if you got a story, you better tell it and you better stick to it. Don't let nobody take you off the path from your story because you have something to say. You have something that's going to make an impact. You got something that's going to inspire and impact others. So I came on here today to tell y'all, tell your story and stick to it. Tell your story. Let the world know. Let the masses know. Take the blinders off. Take it off. Open those doors. All that, sweep it under the rug. No, baby, the rug is being pulled today. Pull the rug up today and tell your story. I don't care if you was raped, if you was molested, if you was beat, if you was verbally abused, if somebody treated you bad, if they did something ugly to you, reveal it so you can let people know how God healed it, because God will bring you through it. If he brought you to it, he gonna bring you through it. So don't tell your story. That's all I'm here today to tell you. Tell your story. I was hurt. I was a hurt girl. I was hurt. I didn't know my self-worth. I didn't know what I had inside. I didn't know what I possessed inside. I didn't know what I carried. I didn't know that the enemy tried to come and kill, steal, and destroy. He tried to shut my voice. He tried to take me out like they tried to take Moses out of Egypt. That's what the enemy tries to do. He tried to get you when you're young. He tried to taint your purpose, taint your destiny. He tried to make everything dark. He tried to put dirt on your name. He try to, whoo, Lord have mercy. He try to count you out. But no, God said it can't count. So tell your story. Whatever you went through, tell your story. This is a story about being triumphant. This is a story about being overcomer, being an overcomer. This is a story about you being victorious in God. This story is about you being an overcomer in God. You got to be an overcomer. See, the enemy try to come and kill, steal, and destroy. But see, once he know you get your power and you turn it over to God, he can't keep you bound. Because guess what? Everything has been revealed now. God has revealed everything to you. God has revealed your mighty power. God has gave you authority, power, and dominion to step on the enemy's neck. He gave you power. He giving you power. And nothing shall harm you. But God got you. Tell your story. I don't care if you can't do it on Instagram, Facebook, what's the other one? Clubhouse, Periscope. Tell it in the streets. Tell people your story. Stop trying to go around here and act like your life is just prim and pristine and everything is just pretty and everything is just a bed of roses. Don't do it. Tell people the truth. Tell people how you overcome. Let them know. Let the younger generation know so they can know they can overcome. There's too many people around here committing suicide. It's too many people who didn't gave hope. It's people who are hopeless. It's people who are down. It's people who are destitute. And you need to tell them how you overcome. Tell your story and stick to it. That's why I'm telling mine. Oh yeah, I was broken, baby. I was hurt. I'm still peeling off the layers like an onion. I'm still peeling off the layers daily right now with some stuff I went through, with some trauma, with some hurt, with some pain, with some rejection. And guess what? I don't hold nothing against my mother for what she did or didn't know. Because guess what? I'm a better woman now today. Everything that I went through, it was God's plan. It was God because he knew he would use me to go and inspire a nation, inspire a neighborhood, inspire some youth. That's why I have a passion for the youth. I have a daughter, she's 19. I have a son who's 27. And I know that ministry starts at home first. That's why a lot of times I have to go back and minister to Josh and Gabrielle because I know I have to be there for them first. And I minister to my niece, Shantrice. She's 18, Gabby's 19, Josh is 27. So they're kind of, Shantrice and Gabby are right behind each other. And my niece is getting ready to go to school in San Antonio, Texas, for industrial engineer, and I'm proud of her. About a year ago, or a year and a half ago or two, my niece came to stay with me because she got into a little trouble. I ain't gonna be very informative on here, but she got into some trouble and she came to stay with me. And those 3 months she stayed with me, an impact was made. An impact was made. An impact was made. It was a lasting impact that has stuck with her now today. Now my niece has been ministering to her mother and her siblings, and they have Bible study every week. So you don't know who you plant a seed into. And those are seeds that people planted into me back in the day. If you plant a seed of negativity, if you plant a word curse on a young person, if you plant curses and negative stuff over people's future, those are seeds that blossom and grow. So that's why I counsel every word curse spoken over me in ignorance. I counsel every word curse spoken over Josh and Gabrielle in ignorance. I counsel every word curse spoken over you in ignorance. You're beautiful. You're handsome. You're gorgeous. You're wonderful. You are all of that in Christ. And yes, we all make mistakes. We are sinners saved by grace. We all make mistakes. Not one of us is perfect. And I mean not one. And yes, some of us are struggling with certain things. My ministry is not about, I know you're supposed to come hard, but I'm still about uplifting people up. And people can say, oh, they doing this, they doing it. But at the end of the day, people have to be delivered from certain things. And if you're not trying to help them to get delivered, okay, bye. You running your mouth saying what they doing, but are you trying to help them to get their deliverance? Are you trying to help them to do that? Or are you just trying to come down on them because you're so perfect? So if anybody on here looks at this video, if y'all have some teenagers out there who might need to see this video, your young nieces, your young nephews, I was that girl, 15 years old, having sex, seeking love, searching, didn't know any better, drinking, smoked marijuana a few times. I never really liked weed, but anyway, they call it weed, whatever. I never smoked it like that, but the point is I did. Just seeking, just out there, just frolicking in the streets, living life, didn't know any better. But you know, I'm just glad to be here today. 47 years old, baby. 47. This 47 right here. Yeah, my hair ain't, well, I do got my locks done, but by these being bigger locks, they fuzzy on the end. But anyway, we ain't come to talk about that. Yes, 47 years old, baby. This is what God has given me. But at the same time, I'm just grateful to be able to tell my story. That lady was going in on TikTok talking about how she was molested, and my heart went out to her, and I left her a comment because, you know, she needs to tell her story, and somebody told her she shouldn't be telling it. She should tell it. She needs to tell it because someone else could get free and see how they can overcome. And it might be another girl out there having sex, drinking, might be doing pills or whatever, and need to see, baby, you are worthy. You are valuable. So if you are a teenager and you watch this and you're talking to some guy and he's using you for your body, ask God to help you get out, because it ain't that easy just to get out. Ask God to help you to separate from that guy peacefully, and ask God to restore you, because God can restore you. I know how it feels when the neighborhood looking down on you, when people looking down on you, when you don't have not nobody in your family. I mean, not an aunt or uncle, and maybe they didn't know. I had no one to minister to me. But they can come on here and try to say what's going on with the generation. But you never prayed for me. You never prayed for me. You never encouraged me. You never motivated me. You never spoke a word into me. You didn't speak life over me. You spoke death. And death and life is in the power of the tongue. So I come on here today to encourage young teenagers. You can come out. Whatever it is you're in, you can come out. You are worthy. You are valuable. You are a king. You are a queen. You can come out. Anybody who's an adult on here who watched this story, if you feel like you down, if you feel like you heavy laden and burdened, if you feel like you're not worthy or you invaluable, you are valuable. You are worthy. And whatever it is, you can come out. I came out with God. I started anchoring myself in Him. I started praising Yahweh. I started paying homage to Him, because guess what? Baby, I'm not perfect. And I'm going to tell y'all that on here every time. Latasha Nicole is not perfect. But guess what? I know who my maker is. I know who my creator is. I know who image I'm made in. So anytime you have any doubt about who you are, baby, when you watch this, you go to the word, to the Bible. If you don't have a Bible, they got Bibles in the library. You can read it for free. You can get a Bible. Somebody can buy you a Bible. I got one on Amazon for $4.97. And yes, it's paperback. I got several Bibles, but the Bible I got on Amazon is a larger print. So that's why I got it, because, you know, I'm older now. Anyway, so the print is larger. And it was $4.97. I got the cheaper version because that's what my pocketbook could afford at the time. But yes, guess what? Whatever it is, whatever you've been through, rape, molestation, abuse, frustration, worry, picked on, talked about, lied on, health problems, whatever it is, seek the Father, the Master, the man with the master plan, because He's the only one who can set you free and bring you into your healing and your deliverance. Seek Yahweh. And if you want to know how to seek Him, baby, message me on Facebook. Baby, I can lead you to Him. My name is Tasha Speaks on Facebook. On Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is Tasha Speaks 1. But yes, just seek Him. If you don't know Him, if you need to be saved, inbox me. We could talk about it. We could talk about how you can get into your salvation, how you can turn over to God, because guess what? He loves you. He loves you. He loves everything about you. So if you feel like you ain't no good, you are good. You are good with the help of God. You good, better than good. You good. So tell your story and stick to it.